Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. Hope you're all having a good day. I'd just like you all to know that one should always wear one's trousers at least 6 inches too long so that they cover the shoes entirely and you are scuffing along and ripping them. Whatever you do, do not wear your trousers the correct length. It's going to be all the rage because a certain trendsetter does it all the time. Now, I have a little demonstration for you all because when I saw the photograph of Meghan at the Hamptons, for the life of me, I can't understand why she can't get her trousers the right length. Yes, I hear you all say she gets freebies from designers, but why don't those designers hem it? It's not doing them any good, their clothes being seen like that. I can't help feeling it's on purpose. Is she trolling us, the public? Is she? Did you also know that Coco Chanel once turned down an offer of marriage to the Duke of Westminster because she said there are plenty of Duchesses, but there's only one Coco Chanel. What would Coco Chanel make of Meghan Markle? They're both one-offs, but of completely different types. So, to try and replicate Meghan Markle's trouser fashion, and bear in mind, I am just under 5'6" and Graham is just over 5'9". So I thought I'll put a pair of Graham's trousers on with heels, which is what Meghan does. Well, she doesn't wear Graham's trousers, or Harry's, or maybe that's what it is. Anyway, so I put the longest pair of trousers I could find of his on with a pair of heels, and I couldn't replicate it. Thank goodness they're elasticated waist. I pushed the elasticated waist way below my hip and pulled the trousers right over my shoes, and you could still see my shoes. I still could not replicate the way Meghan does it. So have a look at this. I don't think I did her any justice, actually. And I just can't get her walk right either, no matter how hard I try. Isn't she extraordinary? Is she doing this on purpose to make herself look foolish, idiotic? Well, so she's just apparently been out to the Hamptons to something called G9 Summer Summit, which is a lady who's into... I'm not sure I can really get to the bottom of it. She invites people like Gwyneth Paltrow, who apparently was there representing Goop, and lots of other of these brands, because a lot of us need to be told, you know, what we need for our wellness and goodness and kindfulness and mindfulness and all the other bollocks words they make up all the time. No disrespect to Gwyneth. She's made a good business, I guess. I'd actually never heard of the Goop before Meghan Markle. I'm an ignoramus when it comes to the latest things. I really am. And also there was Laura Dern and the girl from Legally Blonde. I can't think of her name now. It'll come to me. I can't think. My mind's gone a blank. And apart from Laura Dern, I think Gwyneth and the Legally Blonde lady. What is her name? I'll see there'll be a million comments with that, but I'll have got it by the end of the video, I hope. They had already kind of dissed Meghan. So I'm thinking that in order to get into this place, and there she is with old Misha Nunu, those photographs of Misha Nunu, Misha in the silver dress and Meghan in some of her dresses. I mean, again, not exactly Coco Chanel, and some makeup artist. So maybe Meghan went there under an alias. Maybe her PR, or perhaps WME is still representing her. She got in under an alias, and then that's when Gwyneth and... I'm going to have to Google that girl's name before the end of the film. Reese Witherspoon. That was the name I was looking for. So they wouldn't have known she was coming. And she's just turned up with her couple of mates. That's what I think. I don't think, you know, there's no way anyone would have gone. There's no way she was invited. And what's this? She's gone there to get tips about her Americania thing. Well, how about just stocking some products on a website and selling them and see how it goes? Instead of this negative advertising where nothing is actually for sale. Well, the Hamptons, right. The Hamptons, I I'm fascinated by the Hamptons, and I have spent the morning in the Hamptons in virtual reality. I've been going around Google Earth and looking all kinds of things up because I was always a huge fan of the two Edys, the Beales, who were related to Jackie O. Don't know if you, I'm guessing most of you know who the two Edys are. They had a house in the Hamptons called Grey Gardens, and it's a gorgeous house, and it's a wonderful story actually. I mean, there was Big Edie, the mum. Basically her husband divorced her, and they'd lived like in the heyday, really in the heyday, 1920s, 1930s. But Big Edie's husband divorced her, and she did get the house, but she was on such a low allowance she couldn't keep the staff on. And I mean, you would definitely need a gardener for a property like that. And it sort of fell into rack and ruin. And in the 1970s, these guys went and filmed these two women. The younger Edie had alopecia and had lost her hair very sadly. But I just loved both of those characters. I loved them. I highly recommend it. It's on YouTube. Just go and watch Grey Gardens. They were fantastic characters, and they made the best of life, really. And it's a fascinating documentary to watch. And then eventually Jackie O came along and Onassis, and they helped clean up some of the house. It's a complicated story. They made a movie about them. Well, they were in the Hamptons. The Hamptons are a wonderful, beautiful part. And it just comes across as such countryside and yet so close to Manhattan. And of course, you know, that's why they all wanted it. Nice holiday villas. And then it got me onto other things, not the Hamptons, but obviously Long Island. I was thinking about Amityville. I went to bed really early yesterday, so I woke up at 3:15 this morning, and I was told that Meghan had been in the Hamptons. So I looked up Amityville. Not that I'm likening Meghan to Amityville or anything like that. And I watched the 2018 story, not the ghost film, but the story of the family where the eldest son killed them all one night. And it's a brilliant film, really, really brilliant. It doesn't really answer questions as to why he did it. Theory was he'd been on LSD and perhaps other drugs, maybe had a bad relationship with the dad. Well, a lot of the family apparently had a bad relationship with the dad. I don't know how much truth there is in that, but it's a fascinating film to watch. Only based on a true story, I don't think it's exactly a true story. And I was thinking about other things. I was always a big fan of Castle, you know, Kate Beckett and Castle. And they had a couple of episodes which were supposedly filmed in the Hamptons, because the character Richard Castle had this fabulous property in the Hamptons. But I looked it up this morning, and disappointingly, it was filmed in California. And they got married, I think, in his supposed... So, I mean, the Hamptons are a very, very romantic and nostalgic part of America. I mean, is anybody out there from that area, from the Hamptons? Has anybody got any familiarity with that area? Fill in some of the gaps and other people. I was also very surprised to see that Alec Baldwin was born in Amityville. I didn't know that. It's amazing what you learn from the internet. So then there's Meghan's turned up with the hoi polloi. I mean, what is she hoping to achieve? Business investment? And I read in some puff piece, I forget which one now, that she was bragging that her outfit only cost $840. Well, that's put the rest of us in our place now, hasn't it? I mean, well, someone's fallen on hard times, haven't they? And yet still the trousers are too long. I mean, our Faith, right, who, as you know, the EasyJet uniform, when they turn up, they're just really long-legged trousers, and then it's up to each employee to hem them to the side, to the length that they want. I mean, with a needle and thread, how much does that cost? Oh, I don't know, about 10p? And maybe a friend to do it for you. Perhaps that's the fly in the ointment. She can't find a friend who could hem her trousers. I mean, what about the designers that perhaps lend these outfits to her? Haven't they learnt by now and think, oh, have you seen what she's done in Carolina Herrera and all the rest of it? for goodness sake, send a seamstress along and make sure that the blooming thing fits her. Now the top half, quite baggy, I kind of liked that. But it was the fact that it just kept going on down into cascades, waterfalls of trousers, which then sort of went down the ground and along the ground. I mean, what is she thinking? What is she thinking? So yes, oh, and I also found a place. I don't know how you pronounce this. Oheko Castle. That's in the Hamptons as well, and they've done loads and loads of filming there. And apparently it was built by a guy. It's like the third biggest property in America, or it was, or something like that. It's gorgeous. And he built it basically for Jewish people who were not allowed into golf clubs and society clubs back in the day. So that's interesting. And Grey Gardens as well. That was round about First World War. That big family sort of took it on, and this woman was into gardening. She was an avid gardener, unlike me. I am not actually an avid gardener. Which brings me nicely to Shout Out Corner. Thank you very much, HG Tudor, for having me on for an interview. It was released yesterday. I'll put a link in the description to that. I'd also like to introduce you guys, only if you want, to the Mad Duchess.
I'm apparently an oyster or a clam. Now, let's get down to business.
And also, Foxy.
Right, I'm here. Hello to you all, and welcome to the fun, inspirational live stream as usual.
I just let these people and their characters speak for themselves so you can see what style channel they have. And also someone else who needs no introduction, because I'm pretty sure 99.999% of you already subscribe to him, is Daniel Boland, who's done an excellent video quite recently on the, the thing that's going on in the UK at the moment, the police officer who kicked someone in the head and their ludicrous lawyer. I thought that was a very good video that he's done there as well, and I thought he'd done an excellent job in trying to simmer down the temperature around the whole thing. Well, that's just about all from me. I'd highly recommend looking up the Hamptons, just famous people who live there, and there's a lot of famous people who have properties there, of course. And don't waste your time looking up Meghan. I mean, it's just more beige, isn't it? Another beige outfit, another beige thing. There's like one photo of her with her two friends, Nino, and I think she's called Nino, and someone else who does her makeup. And that's it. It's just another huff, buff, pluff, and nothing. A load of nothingness. But there's so much more to the Hamptons. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and hope you're all having a fabulous day. It's a little bit cooler here, thank goodness. Look forward to reading your comments.